Oh! I'm live. I'm here. Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very erotic live episode of It Crept from the 80s. It's been a while since we've done a live show. And interesting times we're in right now. So I wanted to jump on and just sort of talk about, what's going on. I don't want to talk too much about the actual, elephant in the room, if you will. But more so, I just want to talk about all this fun 80s stuff and movie stuff and anything and everything that pertains to happiness and being happy and entertaining each other. Twizzler. But yeah, it's a wild time. Hello, Ted. Hello, Who Dat Whale. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, I was just talking about how crazy it is. I need some interaction. So I need you people to talk to me. I don't know, we're going on week 2. Hello, Chris. Awesome. How are you guys holding up in this interesting situation? October Nightmare. Hello. Who Dat Whale? Chris really enjoyed the movies, brother. Thank you, Who Dat Whale. What have you seen so far? What have you watched so far? Jeff, hey, I finally caught a live show. I've been watching everything a few days late for a while now. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Tyra. How are you guys holding up? Huh? In this weirdness. I am out of a job, unfortunately. I worked at the movie theater, and it's now going on 2 weeks that I haven't been there. It's it's a little weird. Technically, I'm on furlough. I'm not. They haven't terminated us, but we're so if whenever this whole thing is kind of over with, and when the theater comes back online, they basically give you the option to go back if you want. And I'm hoping that I will. I think I will. Otherwise, I'm sitting here selling my movies, trying to sell my flicks, make some extra money. Unfortunately, I'm doing pre-orders now for all of it because I need to make more covers for the films, and I can't because I make them at the UPS store, and the UPS store is limiting what you can do at the UPS store, so I can't just go in there and make color copies unless I was like going in there to ship things out. And then I actually was feeling pretty gross and that freaked out my wife, freaked out my kid. And so Katie was like, you know what? I don't want you going anywhere. So I'm not really going down to the post office or anything. So anything that anybody wants, my movies, any of that stuff, it's basically pre-orders. You're, you can get it when when all this blows over. But yeah, otherwise it sucks not to have that extra income. My wife is a pharmacist, so unfortunately, she is out there in the thick of it, dealing with all of it. She, it hasn't been pretty. She's been so overly stressed and freaked out, and it's it's a weird situation. Hopefully, she doesn't get sick and all that good stuff. So, Laughograms. Hey, I've been remodeling my living room and getting paid for it. That's awesome. Who Dat Whale, Geek Wars, Team Goes to Camp, Destruction Kings, Gold Shit. Let me know what you thought of Geek War. Jeff, hanging in there, hanging with Mr. Cooper. He's a great guy to hang with. Tyra as one of the essentials. Not bad and busy. Mm-hmm. What's that shirt you have on, man? Damn, sorry, man. I'm awesome, like always. Ted. October Nightmare, just saw Rise of Skywalker. My wife and I loved it. They will have to get to economy going sooner than later. This is unsustainable as is. Yeah, I also love Rise of Skywalker, big time. The shirt is, I don't know if you guys watch AEW wrestling, but there's a wrestler. His name is Orange Cassidy. He's freshly squeezed, and he is hilarious, and that's what this shirt is. He is a very funny entertainer on the AEW circuit. So I just felt, everybody's doing it. Everybody's getting on social media and trying to make people happy and entertain people. And it was about time we did another live show. So here I am to talk with you folks. Live stream for about 3 hours. I'll do this. We were going to do a very big live show April 2nd. So next week we were going to, but that's going to be postponed. There really hasn't been anybody in this house other than myself, my son, and my wife for basically 2 weeks. And while I enjoy my time, I also love having people over and entertaining and stuff like that. And so I want that interaction. It's been rough to not have my buddies over and marathon stuff. And, we also had a Saturday morning sleepover thing coming up, and obviously that's canceling. That had to be canceled. Whatever. I mean, I think, listen, it's a weird time, and we all have to adjust to all this weirdness, but I'm pretty confident, it's going to be all right. Couple months from now, things are going to start to level out, and that's for me. This is, I don't know, but I feel it is. I think the world, I think humans as a whole has been through a lot of crazy shit, and we'll get through this shit. And, hey buddy, greetings from Israel. Yanni Pele, hey buddy, greetings from Israel. Hello, wow. Greetings as well. Geek War is one of your best movies, I think. Thank you. I agree. I also love Geek War. Did you ever try the fajita cake? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I know that recipe. I did not try the fajita cake. We've been, again, it's a weird time, so all bets are off as far as what we've been eating. We've been trying to maintain, but it's been tough. Eating a lot of garbage, that's for sure. But I'm still exercising every single day. I go out for a walk. I do 30 minutes of treadmill and other various weights and stuff like that, and just to keep cardio up and, you know, be at one with my thoughts. What's your favorite virus-themed movie? I don't really have a favorite virus-themed movie, Yanni. I mean, if you say that viruses cause zombieism and being a zombie and all that stuff, you could go with, any of the Dead movies. My favorite Romero zombie movie is Day of the Dead, celebrating its 35th year this year. Those 28 Days Later movies, those are kind of fun. I'm not worried about people turning into mindless flesh-eating zombies. Jeff Fuller, I've been enjoying all the treasures in my LBP catalog, but I could always use more, right? You're damn right, Jeff. You just got to get a hold of me. As I said before, it's kind of pre-order because I am not going out, and I'm kind of being limited to as far as what I can copy and things like that. So it's all pre-orders. When it all blows over, everybody will get their LBP Warlock fix and all that good stuff. Angel, if the internet goes out, that's when I go primal. I don't care. I don't care. I've got so many movies, and I've got a home theater and all that stuff, and I got so many television shows, and I'm good. I don't need the internet. I lived without it for a lot of my life. I'm going to be 43. Huge chunk of my life I live without the internet, so I'll be good. Chaz Voltaire. Casey is in the chat room. Casey himself. Casey Teen-Ape himself. Casey, my cousin, Casey Bowker. Chaz Voltaire is in he loves the quarantine films. I have been a zombie for years, so I'm ready. Okay. Tyra, gonna have to put Ted on the corner when it gets safe to get more money. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm out there showing my legs, my beautiful sinewy dancer legs, chicken legs. Yo, how tricks. Yeah. So I'm a hermit, though. I don't know if any of you guys know that about me. I'm a hermit. So this isn't really like a crazy, huge change for me. I prefer people coming to the house. I like to host. I like to have my hombres around me. That's what's kind of sucking about this. But man, I am catching up on a lot of entertainment, a lot of media. So I'm I'm all about it. Angel, yeah, I mean, the world loves Dawn of the Dead. I like Dawn of the Dead. I just, even when I saw it as a kid, it was fun and it was funny to me, but I didn't latch onto it like so many other horror fans and people in my circle who adore that film. Nothing against Dawn of the Dead, but I prefer Day of the Dead. It's my grimy, nasty, filthy Romero love right there. Yeah, Neve, you got a secret vault of passion flakies? I wish. I don't. I mean, to be honest, I don't need that stuff right now, man. Like, I'm killing myself. We have overdoing it with the sweets. And like, not only did my wife just have a birthday, but also my son just turned 13 during all of this. And so we've had cakes and cheesecakes and donuts and all sorts of shit, in the house, and we've been devouring it, putting on some poundage. I've been dropping some new shirt designs this week. Laughable Graham, you should be dropping some new shirt designs this week, and we should all be dropping some serious deuces. You know, keeping those bowels healthy, poignant, but healthy. Gotta keep it going, man. Those bowels. Good BM. Drink lots of agua. Keep up with the brand. Yeah, I mean, Tom, we actually got to talk because it Crept from the 80s TeePublic page. It's got about 13 designs on there, but we got to get some more on there. Some of the designs that you made me before, TeePublic is saying that they can't take them because of the size is just too small. So I guess we got to resize some of those that you did for us. For sure, dude. I don't any of that shit either. Also have a kid, 7.5 years old. Got to be a good role model. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, my kid is, he's a kid, you know? So he loves the snacks. He loves all that. That's all I mean, it's gotten to a point where, like, after every lunch and after every dinner, he's like, so, what snacks do we got? He's definitely my kid. That's my vice, man. You know, I don't drink beer. I don't drink wine. I don't drink alcohol other than like hard cider. And I don't smoke, don't do drugs, none of that shit. But I tell you what I do. I love my sweets. I love my chocolate. I love my confectionery treats. I love my Dolph nuts. And my iced creams. That's the shit that I gotta worry about, you know what I'm saying? Tyra Bonejack shirt would be awesome. Well, I mean, there's an LVP shirt. If you go to the TeePublic page and look up It Crept from the 80s, there are some LVP and Warlock shirts there, but no specific Bonejack shirt. There's a Teenage shirt. I got 3 different designs from TeePublic store. Looking for more. I love the shirts, guys. Thank you, Who Dat Whale. Thank you. Yes, you are a proud supporter. Yeah, man, reach out and let me know what's up. I probably have them saved and higher. And I save everything I do. Good. I don't forget that pumpkin spice shit. Jeff Fuller, I love pumpkin spice. That's right. If it was still out there on the shelves, I'd be getting it. Pumpkin spice everything, man. Pumpkin spice my cream. You know? Sometimes you gotta flavor that icing for the ladies out there. Why not flavor your cream pumpkin spice flavor? Hmm? Oh shit! So what's everyone been watching? What's I mentioned that I'm going through a lot of media, and for the most part, it's all like it's a specific thing. But what are you guys? Movies, television shows. What's keeping you sane in this musty, mystic mist of insanity? Hey, man. Tyra says Ted wants one. Ted gets bonus points for imitating Bonejack. Sorry, I know you're tired of him. People love those characters, and I'm not taking that away from any of you guys. You go on loving the characters, the movies that you do love from my shit. That's cool. It's personal. It's, I'm tired of that. Tired of those oldies. Yeah, I mean, so does mine. Hey, that's one of the great things about being a kid. I just also show him what he needs to do when he grows older to stay healthy, eating right, working out. All we can do is try, my friend. Being a father is something else. You just got to try. Chaz Casey says The Tiger King. It's in my queue. I am going to be watching that. October Nightmare. We are watching The Outsider from HBO, and it is great. I read the book too. Don't know anything about that. I, by the way, showed him the Neverending Story 2 days ago. He loved it. Good. That was my favorite movie as a kid. That's some good parenting right there. Neverending Story is a fantastic film. 1984. Wolfgang Peterson directed. It's insane. I have been binge watching. I don't know if any of you guys out there are wrestling fans. We have our wrestling video up there. And I don't know if you guys watched it, so you know where my wrestling love comes from, and that's primarily the 80s. And I wasn't like a huge, giant wrestling kid. It's just it was so prominent in the 80s, and that's when it was having its golden age, its heyday, and all those personalities. That stuff stuck with me, and I have my favorite wrestlers from the 80s and all that stuff. But I've always been kind of, reluctant to really dip back into any of this modern stuff that's happening with wrestling. Although, Orange Cassidy, freshly squeezed, is hilarious. AEW. Those guys are the AEW roster, and that group are really trying to bring back old school wrestling and the silliness of it, and the silly characters and the silly storylines and all that stuff. And I appreciate that. So, and Orange Cassidy is the guy for me over on there. But so I've been wanting to dip my toes back into the WWF. I call it WWF. I don't like WWE shit. They shouldn't have. It was sucky that they had to change their name, and it just doesn't roll off the tongue like WWF does. So I figured the best way to get back into wrestling and the storylines and what they're doing at WWF, and to see who I like and who I would follow, and what the shtick is and whose shtick appeals to me. I have been watching the wrestling reality shows, Total Divas, Total Bellas, The Miz, any of that stuff, which is scenarios sometimes are scripted, but for the most part, it's just turn on the cameras and let them go. But this has really given me who I like. So when I get out of the reality stuff that I'm binging, I can go into the actual, SmackDown, Raw, WrestleMania, all that stuff, and root for who I want to root for, because I know their personalities out of the ring and in the ring, and that's what I'm looking for. I want to root for the person. I want to like the person, and I want to be entertained by the shtick. And truth be told, these shows are really working for me. I'm already like pretty much almost done with all 9 seasons of Total Divas. And again, I have people that I like, both men and women, who I want to follow when I dip into the other stuff, the actual shows and whatnot. Come on. Jesus. Hold on, guys. This is fucking all up in my piece. Eric shows off the Sweet Roddy Piper figure. Dude, that sucks. A great idea. Well, the old WWF stuff I frequently watch, the old stuff. And I know who I love from the old days when I was growing up in the 80s. And my favorite wrestler from back then was Roddy Piper. But it's the new stuff that was a little like intimidating, and just like, do I really care? And I don't know these people, and it was overwhelming because like I haven't watched wrestling since the 80s, So other than a few things here and there when a lot of the gang comes over, because so many of them are big wrestling fans. So they'll show me videos, or we'll watch like old WWF matches and shit like that. But I wanted to follow the new stuff. So watching those reality shows really helped me, you know, get a group together in my head of, okay, I like this person, I like this person. They're the ones I'm going to be watching. Not just the male talent, but the female talent too. I loved Glow in the 80s. I really loved Glow. But I had no idea how huge and powerful and strong of a presence the female wrestlers were in WWF now. So that's exciting, and to see, like, it's fun to get to know the people, but when they don't show the matches as much on those shows, so when they do show that stuff, I'm like really mesmerized by the athleticism and talent that all these wrestlers have and the shit that they're doing, and I'm just like, wow, how are they doing this stuff? Making it just seem so easy, you know? Lots of practice, lots of choreography, I know, but still, they are slamming into each other and doing this crazy shit, and it's fascinating to me. Who Dat Way? I love that 80s room, Chris. Thank you. I wish I could show you all of it. Hi, everybody. Hello, Mike. Jeff Fuller. The Miz is hilarious. The Miz is hilarious. I remember when he was on The Real World, and he was hilarious on that show. That was the first time. And it's funny, thinking back to when he was on The Real World, I would always laugh at this guy, thinking like, this guy's never going to be a wrestler. But I thought he was hilarious. I thought his shtick and walking around yelling that he's the Miz and all this shit, I was like, this, he's got the energy. And then lo and behold, he's a champion on WWF. Right at the movies, woo! Is that a Ric Flair woo? Hi, everybody. Yaniv, I tried getting into some new shit. It really is all shit. The last thing I liked was Stranger Things. Oh, well, I mean, I like a lot of new stuff. But yeah, Stranger Things is amazing. And then came Miz and Miss. Yeah, so I'm watching that as well. Yes, Yaniv, anything new that you're really into these days? Well, yeah, Stranger Things. I mean, I like a lot of new shows. The Castlevania show. There's a lot of shows on Netflix that I love. Yeah, there's just. But listen, I mean, truth be told, I watch more old stuff than I do new stuff. But that's just how it's always been with me. It takes me an hour just to pick out a movie that I want to watch because there's so many, and my mood can change so often. We did watch The Dark. We haven't watched the second season of The Dark yet, but loved the first season. I love the first season of Altered Carbon. Not really liking this new season so far. Right at the movies, I'm gonna just watch Golden Girls until I slip into a coma. That's a solid plan, my brother. Laughograms, you prefer older movies? No way. Freels, hello, Sean. Freels, hello, friends. Yanni, there's a great riff tracks of The Dark. Not that The Dark, Jeff. He's talking about The Dark, the show on Netflix. It's really good, and you gotta like really pay attention to it. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'm watching. I've been renting a lot of movies on Amazon Prime. So we saw Jojo Rabbit and Guns Akimbo and Frozen 2, Knives Out. We saw Jumanji 2. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of those new Jumanji movies. My wife loves them. So we've been watching a lot of those, and I have a bunch of Amazon Prime movie and pop culture centric documentaries lined up that you got to rent, but they're all pretty cheap. So I'm going to be going through those soon. Right at the movies. I'm actually the new Danzig movie I'm waiting to watch with Andrew. Because he and Clint and Alec and I and Sean really love watching movies that we know are going to be shit but laughable together. We love doing that. And Andrew and I have said that we will not watch it until we're together. So we know it's going to be a train wreck. Jeff, the new Bloodshot, are you talking about? I know Casey really wants to see Bloodshot. I don't really have much interest in it. The last movie that I saw before this whole pandemic shutdown was The Invisible Man, which was fantastic. Oh, but I loved Jojo Rabbit. I'm telling you, if you guys are wrestling fans and you want to laugh and you want to see somebody who's got some real entertainment chops, you got to check out Orange Cassidy over at AEW. Freshly squeezed. This guy is hilarious. His shtick is so great, so unique, so funny. he's a blast from the past who's who's making it cool again to live in the future. What was an invisible man? The plot holes. Whatever, Jeff. I love The Invisible Man. Didn't matter. There's plot holes in fucking everything. I don't care. Riot at the movies. Yes, he is known as the king of the sloth style. He's gonna try. I just watched Brain Scan with Edward Furlong the other day. Really good movie. Hell yeah, man. Brain Scan, I saw twice in the theaters. I've talked about the theater before. We had this theater in Ithaca, New York, called the Arnett Mall. And that multiplex, for some reason, showed so many weird and rare movies when they were first coming out. And this theater seemed to be like the only theater that was doing it. So when Brain Scan came out, this theater was playing it. And my friend Eric and we went to see it twice. Love that movie. It's one of my favorite. I'm not a giant fan of the 90s in general. I lived through it. I was a teen and young adult going into my 20s in the 90s. But that's a movie that I love from the 90s that still feels 80s, but is embracing the 90s technology and things like that. And yeah, Brain Scan is amazing. I think I have it. I have the laser disc. I have the cassette tape, the CD, the VHS, the DVD, and the Blu-ray. And I've got a button from when the movie theaters were handing them out. I love it. By the way, tried getting Oingo Boingo Dead Man's Party on vinyl. Apparently not as easy a task in Israel. Oh, that sucks, brother. Yeah, you can get it around here. Very easy. Anything Oingo Boingo. Let's talk Oingo Boingo. Let's talk Boingo. Riot at the movies. Frank Langella makes everything good. Yeah. Jeff Fuller, the Trickster, should have had his own spin-off series. I know, man. He was a great, great villain or anti-hero or whatever you want to call him. Great monster. Played beautifully. T. Ryder Smith, man. Yeah. We actually, after that movie came out, I remember we made our own Brain Scan sequel, and my friend Dave played the Trickster, and he just looked like a Native American with a shitty wig cut up mohawk, and I don't know. It was just bizarre, and it did not work out. Right at the movies. Primus. Hell yeah, Primus. Any of you Primus fans? I saw Primus. 1995. I saw Primus. Get out of here. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Who dat whale? Everything going on. It's been really cool to see my boys play with their figures and use their imagination like the 80s. I miss those days, my friend, because my kid's 13 and he just now that's it's shifted to displaying toys and statues and things like that, and he doesn't play with them anymore. And I was dreading it, as he got older. The older he got, and the more that I saw he wasn't playing with toys, and it was a bummer, man. So cherish these days. Mike, do I still go to any shows? Not really. The last live show I went to was Chromeo, with Casey. No, because we have this, it's just different. When we were going to shows, for me, it was a different time, and people respected the situation. And people don't do that now. And a lot of people, certainly ska shows, people don't know how to act at a ska show unless they're older, and you don't want to beat the shit out of people at a fucking ska show. It's just silly. You're there to have a good time. You're there to dance. So we don't do it as much. We've certainly thought about going to a lot of different shows and then never pulled the trigger because of that. A couple of years ago, Casey and I tried to go back to a Mustard Plug Voodoo Glow Skull show, and it was a big mistake. And you could see who the actual ska fans were, as opposed to the people who were just there to run around and kick the shit out of everybody else and throw shit, and it just wasn't a fun time. So about Willis, what you talking about, Willis? Yeah, you see, what are you looking at? I don't know. I agree with you. Found another carded Sky Commander coming your way in the future. Oh yeah, ooh, that's good. Thank you. Who dat whale? These burps tell me you need to go to the fridge. Keep it awesome every. Woo! Okay, bye, Riot at the movies. Respect depends on the band. Unfortunately, seeing the Planet Smashers is usually a chill experience, but seeing Streetlight Manifesto is chaos. Well, I've been to Planet Smasher shows where it's chaos as well. Unfortunately, I prefer the old days. October Nightmare. My wife introduced me to Earth Girls Are Easy. It was a fun 80s movie. I must go. I wish your family and you the very best, Chris. Thank you, October Nightmare, and you too as well. And I love Earth Girls Are Easy. I saw it when it came out. I probably am one of two fans of Earth Girls Are Easy. My friend Alec got me a shirt one year as a present of Earth Girls Are Easy. I had the soundtrack. I played that soundtrack all the time. I was riding my bike. I used to be a paper boy. I would put on the Earth Girls Are Easy soundtrack on cassette and ride around. I loved Earth Girls Are Easy, man. I showed when Katie and I first got together, and this was like 7 years ago. That's one of the movies I showed her, and she loved it. I was like, oh, she's not going to like this, but she ended up loving it. If you want. What was your ska band in most of your movies? What was your ska band in most of your movies? Jeff, what was your ska band in most of your movies? Elaborate. Who Dat Whale? Chris, out of the box of goodies I sent you, what was your favorite thing out of it? Geez, I don't know, because I loved I loved all of it. I mean, it was all awesome. I don't know if I could pick a favorite of what you sent me. Some of it I've already put up. I'm moving some things around. The next short, fun size episode I'm doing is going to be on sectors. So I will be showing off those and the new sectors from Zyka Toys. They're awesome. Ooh, this was a recent get, and I didn't show this. You guys remember this? I do, and that's why I have it. The Bill and Ted cereal. Y'all remember that? I had to get this. This was only $10. I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get it. I used to love this cereal. Ralston, man, Ralston was kicking butt in the '80s and early '90s with you know, entertainment media themed cereals. So here we go, man. Great shape too. Had to have it. Ooh, I think this cereal would have been out of date, so I don't think it would have been tasty. They got among those babies were awesome. That was my favorite items. I think. Man, I miss Pac-Man and Mr. T cereal. Hell yeah, Pac-Man and Mr. T cereal. I loved them. The Gremlin cereal, E.T. cereal, Smurf Berry Crunch. God dang. My C-3POs, which I also have a box of. I also, okay. I know you feature a lot of ska in your flicks. I don't know why I thought all the songs originals from a band you worked with. Thought all the songs originals from a band. I put a lot of the Planet Smashers in my movies. The Planet Smashers, they're a Canadian ska band who I'm friends with, and my band used to play shows with them, and they always got us into the shows, and we hung out backstage a lot with them, and I would give them movies, and they loved the movies, and that friendship has just still kind of kept going. They wrote 2 songs for Destruction Kings. So that's the Planet Smashers. But I mean, there's a lot of ska bands throughout my movies, and it's mostly from Asian Man Records and Stomp Records, and early on Moon Stomp Records, Moon Ska, Bucket and the Toasters and all those guys. Yes, the Planet Smashers. I've also I collect TV guides as well from the 80s only. Because I love reading them. I love getting that feeling of what it was. I remember loving the TV guides and going and circling everything that I wanted to watch, weekdays, weeknights. Of course, all the cartoon stuff and the ads and everything for the cartoons and the shows that I loved. So I've been getting those and actually rereading them. I've been collecting them. I've been getting them again for about 2 years. So I'm always on the lookout for good deals for lots, of 80s TV guides. But my newest one is from April 1985. And it's a good one, folks. A lot of great stuff is on. So you got to get down with that. Oh my God. The smell. Oh, look what's going on. Charles in Charge. Some crazy, wacky shit's happening over on Charles in Charge. Oh, where's the... Oh, look at this old G.I. Joe Sears ad. Remember the times. $2.49 a figure. Get out of here, man. Love it. I love this stuff. So yeah. And luckily this was fairly cheap. There's some people on eBay who are selling their 80s TV guides for like fucking $50 a pop, which is ridiculous. Come on now. What kind of food? Ooh, look at that. Facts of life, my girls. Facts of life. I love this shit. Excited for Dan P's new stuff to drop. I'm always excited for Dan P. Dan P is a master musical genius. What else did I recently get? I recently got some. I'm not the biggest fan of the Masters of the Universe Classics line, and that's only because I never liked the fact that you couldn't get Masters of the Universe in stores anymore. It just bothered me. So I hated that so many of these companies were charging, $50 to get a figure if you were lucky, if you were a part of some membership or group. I hated it. Mattel did it for a while, then Super 7's doing it, but I don't like that. So it always turned me off. I just have that old school mentality that fucking all this stuff should still be on shelves. Luckily, Mattel is bringing Masters of the Universe back to store shelves this year, so I'm happy about that. But so I've shied away from a lot of the classics line of Masters of the Universe. However, I do like, as you can see, these are the old school style He-Man, but with Filmation sculpts and paints and all that stuff. Well, they also did it with the classic line, and I like those. I like the looking at the cartoon come to life. So I've said to myself, you know what, Sievage, why not go after some of those Masters of the Universe Classics line, but for the Filmation only, and for the characters that you specifically really love. So right now I'm going after the Classics line of the Filmation Horde. And I recently, thanks to Justice Curry, who you toy fans will know, vintage toy fans will know Justice Curry. He's got a great channel on YouTube, and he's a really good dude, and he loves all this stuff. So he made a good deal with me, and I picked up 2 of my first He-Man Filmation classics. Grizzlor, right here. I don't like the packaging, so these are not staying in the package. They will all be taken out and posed and played with. Got Grizzlor, showing his cartoon form. And I got Mantenna. Love it. Filmation cartoon form. So dope. Don't like the packaging. Like Zack Ryder says, you gotta let them breathe. We're just gonna pick those up. Funny enough, just watched Destruction King, still one of my all-time favorites. That's cool, Jeff. Yeah, funny enough, I was a huge J.R. Bookwalter fan for years. Then I discovered you completely separately. Then when I saw Destruction Kings with Ariana, it blew my mind. That's cool. Real Sean, got here a little late. Have you talked about the new films you were working on? No, I haven't. We certainly can. I just started picking up my old He-Man figures. Big Bearded Beast Collector. Hello, Big Bearded Beast Collector. Just got Mechanic in the mail yesterday. That's dope. Yeah, man. You got to recollect, you know? And I'm not like a lot of collectors who go after full lines and or are newer, you know, in their 20s or 30s, but are going after 80s toys because they think they're cool. Not them themselves, but the toys were cool and trying to collect all that stuff. I'm a guy in his 40s who doesn't want to let go, has never wanted to let go of my childhood, my 80s love. And I'm just going after the stuff that I had, the stuff that I owned, the stuff that was gifted to me growing up. That's the stuff that I'm going after. All this other stuff, like the Super 7 stuff, that's extra, you know? But yeah, so I have that luxury of not, you know, spending thousands upon thousands of dollars trying to complete a line, especially if I didn't even have that line. I just don't care. I want to get back what I had. So it's been going good. Steady, surely, going good. Do you collect any of the NECA 7-inch horror figures? Sean, I don't. I used to get all that stuff. And then, you know, I think I was a little later when I stopped actually playing with toys. I was probably like 14 when I stopped playing and it went into displaying and collecting. So like 14 on, I was always collecting figures to put up on the wall and display, and statues and props and things like that. So McFarlane came around and that was huge. So I was always getting all the horror stuff and the movie Maniacs and everything. So I did have a vast collection of those 6-inch, 7-inch figures from McFarlane, from when NECA started, all the other ancillary companies. And then, I don't know, probably 4 years ago, my wife was like, you know, you have all of these little figures everywhere that are just cluttering up shelves. And the way that they were displayed, you could never fully see all the figures. And she was like, why don't you just like go after like the statues or the Hot Toys or busts to display your appreciation and love for those specific characters? And I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. So I ended up selling most of all of those figures. And now I have like a Freddy bust. I have a Jason statue, things like that show my love and appreciation. It's a little less clutter, and the big stuff my wife usually gets, so I don't have to worry about it. She's willing to pay that amount of money, and I am not. So that's why, you know, we have a lot of that stuff, and you don't see a lot of the little figures around anymore. I mean, if you look back at a lot of my movies and or videos that I did or pictures and whatnot from the past, you would always see shelves full of action figures like that. But I kind of agreed, you know, it's much nicer for display purposes and more room to display certain things when you're not cluttered up with tons of 6-inch action figures everywhere. So that's just me. That's, you know, it's perfectly fine, and I love looking at it. And I've been in other collectors' rooms and seeing the glory. It's just, I get it. My wife was correct on that. Who Dat Whale? My collection is 90% stuff when I was a kid and 10% modern stuff. That's what I like. That's what I'll keep it as. And Laughograms does mention, like, there's things that I did want as a kid but I never got. I'll get those things as well. Or fans and friends will give them to me, like the complete firehouse from Real Ghostbusters. I had almost every fucking Real Ghostbusters thing known to man, but my family never got me the firehouse. So I had a friend up the street. His name was Scott. He had the firehouse, so I would always take my stuff up there and we'd play. So I didn't get the firehouse until I turned 40 or 39 or 40, thanks to Brandon Bennett, who just sent it to me complete. So great. Mike, gotta run. Network update to be done. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for coming, Mike. Thank you for talking with me during this crazy, unerotic time. Who Dat Whale? Just got the Saved by the Bell collection for $40. Great collection, Chris. Of course it is. Saved by the Bell. Come on. Lefograms. Mine was Mad Balls. I always wanted Mad Balls, but my mom would never get me them. So now I buy anything Mad Balls that I find. Mad Balls was dope. Us kids in the 80s had Mad Balls. They were fun. I've got a couple, So I believe somebody asked me about the films. Oh, Sean Friels, if I talked about the films. So Mike is actually the only person, Mike in this stream, his name is, he's on here. I think he just left. But Mike is the only person who has actually donated to our project. Now, we were going to do this other thing, and that is up in the air. I don't know if that thing is going to actually happen. I'm very iffy on that particular thing, so that's kind of, we'll see. But there is a movie that Clint Kelly and I are getting together to write, called Radikill. And it's awesome and it's fun, and it's an idea that I've had for about a year. Oh, actually, the main idea I've had since finishing The Weirdsies in 2015. So, but it's a weird time right now. Things are very up in the air. We do know that once this all clears, we are going to come together and really push forward on this project. Right now, it's all sort of pre-production money that we need just to get us together to do this, to take the time to do this, to write this. But this Radikill thing is, I'm going to say, probably the next big project that we do, for sure. It's looking like now that, any real production movement on that is going to be 2021 because of the way things are going. But getting together and write in the mind and do our sort of week-long Sievage masterclass in script writing together, that will be this year, thanks to Mike's wonderful donation. Who dat whale? Chris, I'm seeing the new retro Ghostbusters on eBay. I hope they come in soon. I took your advice and ordered from the website you mentioned to me. Thank you, Tyra. Who dat whale? I think I told you to get them from that Zavvi, and probably forgot to tell you to cancel that. I mean, they're still going to come in for you, but I the Walmart where they were originally exclusively supposed to be sold finally ended up putting them up on the Walmart site. So I canceled my Zavvi order and ordered them from the Walmart site much cheaper. And I'm sorry, I probably clearly I forgot to tell you, but I did tell a bunch of people to quit the Zavvi thing. But I think, I mean, I don't know. Even on the Walmart site, when the pre-order went through, it said June. I mean, if they end up coming in earlier, that's fantastic because I want them in my life. Ted, hey, Tyra just told me to get the fishnets on. What did I miss? Not much. But, you know, I guess you're going to be doing some Tim Curry action for us. Getting those fishnets on. Being a sweet transvestite. It's cool, brother. They look great. Hell yeah, they do. I mean, they look just like they're supposed to look. As I've told a couple of you guys before, because I have gotten a request to, when are you going to talk about real Ghostbusters and all that stuff? I am going to talk about the real Ghostbusters, but I want to get more of my recollection going. And there's some figures that I still need to put back into my recollection. Also, I felt like I wanted to wait for the new movie to hit so I can do a whole Ghostbusters episode of Crept and make it a nice, juicy, long one. But we'll get some real Ghostbusters in there. It's going to happen. It was a huge, huge, huge. Ghostbusters in general was a huge part of me. So it will be talked about. But as I said, a Sectors video is coming. I got to show off the new figures from Zyka Toys. They are awesome. Rocky Horror is the best. Tim Curry is your tranny spirit. He's all of our tranny spirits. Sorry, guys. I'm getting Andrew is hollering at me. What else? I did recently get something else. I don't know. Oh shit! What do you guys? So what you guys want to talk about? Questions, quists? I'm here, man. I'm here for you. It's only been an hour. We got some time, man. Let's keep this going. I am gonna open these. I don't know if it's fun to watch me open these. Maybe I'll do it in a separate video. But yeah. You guys been checking out the videos? You guys all caught up on all the videos on the channel? Tyra, what fuels my creativity? Not much lately. Unfortunately, it's a huge huge dry spell, huge writer's block for sure. Like I said, I've had the Radical idea, the kernel of that idea since 2015. So I've been nursing that off and on, and we've made, we just did this shitty Stoinkmare on Halloween Street, which was part of the Stoinky saga. But that was just dumb fun and stupidity and terrible, and is exactly what it was meant to be. And I'll probably be doing some more of those shot on VHS Warlock flicks that people seem to really enjoy, like Death of Lantern and Happy Holidays and Dingleberries, that stuff we did. But usually it's, I don't know, man. I can't, something just pops in my head, it makes me laugh, and then I'll go write it down. And that's usually how it all comes. I can be sitting in front of a movie that I love and just sitting there enjoying it, and then something will pop in my head. I'll start laughing, and I'll have to run and write it down, or it can come from anywhere too, like the spur of the moment shit. It's just, I don't know, but it's rough, and I find it to be getting harder as time goes on, and my on again, off again love affair with making movies rears its ugly head. Let's finish that. Jeff, anything you want to try to accomplish in the lockdown? Creatively, finish this, finish that. Well, I should be really focusing on Radical, but I want to come together with Clint so that we can do it properly. I guess I've talked about, there's going to be some more LBP and Warlock Blu-rays coming, sort of box sets, if you will. I should be working on that stuff, but I'm not, because I'm finding this time to be just very relaxing, and I'm thinking a lot about shit and life, and catching up on stuff that I've missed, and it's like a slowdown, and I like it. So honestly, I'm not trying to think of too many things that'll stress me out at the moment. There's already enough shit that is stressing. So right now I'm just having fun being a hermit, and I don't know. I kind of feel like after this all kind of clears, it's a restart, and I'm hoping to be more refreshed and ready to go for other things, and to actually get out there again, and yes, be creative, but also have fun again with other people. And I have a trip planned in August that, as far as I'm concerned, is still happening. And myself and Andrew Baltus and Alec, we're all going out to Anaheim for the big He-Man convention, and then going to Disney and doing all that stuff for 5-6 days. And I'm thinking about things like that. I'm thinking about being with my loved ones, and being with my friends and family, and getting that out there again, getting the interactions and magic of interactions with friends and family and stuff like that. So I'm really not thinking too much about projects, really. Right now, Radical has me excited. And as I said, I think that one will probably be a go. But I'm also thinking about doing some more of the shot on VHS stuff. So like a sequel to Happy Holidays, or a sequel to Dingleberries, or whatever it is. Who Dat Whale? Chris, do you remember the show You Can't Do That on Television? Yes, of course I do. Of course I remember You Can't Do That on Television. Come on. It's actually a part of Saturday morning sleepovers. I make it a part of Saturday morning sleepovers too. Tyra, they really were good. Your talent is amazing. Thank you. You gotta see more. I know you guys haven't seen all of them. Jeff, you know I do those visual effects though. I certainly do. I do know that. And that would come in handy for Radikill. You know, this show, these live shows, but the show in general also helps me a lot. It helps me keep sane. It's something that I love to do. I love talking about all this stuff. I love being immersed in all of it. It's a happy place. So that's, I mean, A Crept from the 80s is going to keep going for sure. And I like it. I like not worrying about, subscribers and all the goofy shit that goes along with being a YouTuber. I'm not known. I mean, I'm extremely thankful for the over 700 people who are subscribed to the channel now. That's amazing. But it really is just a place for me to go and sit and talk about all the things I love. And it's just great that there are like-minded people who want to do that as well. So, I think it was last month where they sent me an email saying that I could monetize now. I could start monetizing the channel. And I didn't, because I don't care. I don't care. That's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I just genuinely love talking about this shit, and this is a great platform to do that. I just want more people to join in, because I know there's no way 700 plus people are watching this show because of the way they do their algorithms and what they push and what they don't push and shit like that. But this community could be a lot bigger if those people were allowed to see this show, or it's not even a show really. It's just me and some friends getting together to talk about this shit. It originally was going to be like a show, but I like just shooting the shit. There's so many shows on YouTube channel, YouTube performers, YouTubers who have shows or are trying to educate you or make it that type of thing. And that's not me. It's literally just shooting the shit with friends about growing up in the 80s and all the geeky shit we love that has spawned from the 80s and the memories that we had growing up in the 80s. And that's it. As you've seen on the channel. I think when we tried to make it a show, it just was losing something. I prefer just doing it. Yeah, I'm working on it. Jeff, that's what makes your shit so great. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. In the midst of all this, Zach, you may have seen or at least heard us talk to Zach on the show, because for a while, up until a couple weeks ago, he was shooting and editing the show for the last year. And that's because he came to me about wanting to shoot, and I had only met him the start of 2019. He contacted me and said he wanted a bunch of my movies and said he was moving back to Rochester and he wanted to talk to me about something. And that something ended up being that he wanted to do a documentary about me and LBP and the gang. and I fought it for a while. I actually didn't want to be a part of it, and some of the gang didn't want to be a part of it, and it just didn't. I didn't understand it. I guess because I'm like, why? Who cares? No one's gonna care about this story, and is there a story to tell? But he really felt there was a story to tell. Plus, 3 other different times somebody was trying to make a documentary about us, and those 3 times failed. So I just didn't trust anybody. But I got to know Zach, and trust Zach and his wife, and they're very good people. And so it's been really interesting to go through a year and some change of reliving moments of making these movies since I was 7 years old. You know what I mean? Like, it's been very interesting and nostalgic and weird and surreal, and it's given me, extra things to think about as far as should I keep going, or what's the point, and things like that. And it's interesting, and I'm excited to see what the doc is going to be, because I don't know. He just really pushed home that there's a story to tell here, and he felt it was important. So I don't know. I know that he's spent a year and going around the country and on his dime, getting all sorts of reviews, and I mean interviews from people in the group, from fans, from directors, all that shit. So I'm very intrigued, and it's made me think a lot about making movies and what my life has been. So I see these comments, and a lot of them are like, your movies are so great and funny, and they make me feel good and blah blah blah. And it's on one part, it's like, wow, this is amazing, and people are still talking about this stuff after all these years. But then there's another part of me that's like, yeah, but what does it matter? What's it all mean? I don't know. I think I'm gonna be like that till the day I die. So I am very looking forward to see what Zach comes up with for this documentary. It should be very interesting. Speaking of Zach, he just popped in. Hello, Zach. Who dat whale? I gotta go, bud. Listen, I appreciate the videos, toys, and chats you do. You allow people like myself to go back to a great time in our lives. You will always have a friend, fan supporting these things. Thank you, Who Dat Whale. Be safe, brother, and you and your family. You too. You too, Michael. You too. We will talk. Here comes the waffle stomper. Yeah. Ted, I'd love to see the documentary. Ted, the doc, I mean, Zach, I think he's going to go the festival route. I will be just as intrigued, and I can't wait to see it as well. Jeff, well, you think about your catalog and what you've accomplished. It's inspiring as hell to a lot of people. See, I can see your point of view, but I also know my point of view. And I agree, but I also kind of like poo-poo it. I put myself down. I put what I've done down. It's, I have a 50-50. I have the angel on my shoulder, and I have the devil on my shoulder, and they're both yapping at me, and I can see the good and bad in my life. And Tyra, after a rough week, your stuff is better than chocolate. Well, I appreciate that. It's not, but I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoy it. I love chocolate. And one man's poop is another man's chocolatey goodness. Ooh, they just announced. Actually, there was rumor of this, and I heard this a while ago. But they just announced one of my favorite 80s films, Just One of the Guys, coming to Blu-ray at the end of April with extra features and commentary. Love that movie. It's coming to Blu-ray. Ted, dude, it gets me laid. I wish it got me laid. I could use some layage. Jeff, you should make some LVP Warlock bingo cards to play along with the movies. That's interesting. You know, we did have trading cards made when Malva 2 came out. They sold out very quick, and we never made any more of them. They were only sold at conventions. Man, you know, come to think of it, a lot of stuff has been made for LBP, and it's all gone. I don't own any of the crazy stuff fans have made for us. I guess I have some things. I've got some art here and there, but I mean, dolls have been made of my characters and given to us. We've had plaques made. There's 2 fans who have my name tattooed on themselves out there. Yeah, we also had Baby Teen Ape and Baby Bonejack that were made for us. Fans, a book. There was a book that was like it was called the LBP Configuration that this fan made and made like a bunch of copies for us. That was pretty cool. There is a book out now on Amazon, and you can get it. It's about it's one fan's perspective of Destruction Kings. He goes through the whole movie and sort of analyzes it. And he actually got a hold of us to do interviews for the book. And I was just like, what? This is ridiculous. This is so weird. Why is somebody Destruction Kings? Okay, whatever. And sure enough, it was printed and you can get it on Amazon. Jacques Dequeef. Jacques Dequeef. Will Jacques ever Dequeef again? We may never know. Oh. Man, I like coming into this room. It's warm and fuzzy feelings. It's a great place to be. I've been coming in here and watching the sixth season of Different Strokes because I love my 80s TV show rewatches. I'm gonna be doing an 80s, all the 80s and early 90s television shows that I have on DVD or Blu-ray. I'm gonna be doing a video of that pretty soon as well. I should be pumping this channel with a lot of videos soon, actually, just because I need it for therapy and fun, and hopefully you guys will find it entertaining as well during this loathsome and woeful time. But don't forget freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. It's hilarious. ever since we made that Back to the Future episode, the Back to the Future Teen Wolf episode, I've been really thinking about Back to the Future a lot and how amazing that whole thing is. I had it planned for a big marathon we were going to do next week, and now I'm just probably just going to watch it again. It's so good. I just recently got April Fool's Day on Blu-ray. That was a Blu-ray I had been waiting for so long, because I knew one day somebody was going to put that movie out. And thank Crom that Scream Factory got the Paramount rights to a lot of movies, and they're bringing out some great stuff. So I'm excited to see the transfer of April Fool's Day. So it's such a good, underrated horror flick. So fun. So what do you? I just discovered Skylanders has sequels. Oh yeah, man! I actually enjoyed the sequels more than I love the original movie. And I shouldn't even say that. The original movie's fine, but to me, the Scanner sequels are ridiculous, especially when it gets to like Scanner Cop. Woo! I love those. Love those garbage flicks. That was prime time '90s shit. I ate all that shit up. Direct to VHS garbage. Yeah, man. One of these. I mean, we will get into that. We are gonna do a whole series of Crept from the '90s episodes, much to my chagrin. But as much as I shit on the '90s, there's some pretty great stuff that came out of the '90s that I love, and a very significant and large crazy shit was happening to me personally in the '90s. So there will be plenty of Crept from the '90s episodes, and I will be talking about a lot of those types of sequels and direct-to-video horror movies that were onslaughting us back then. 90% of it was garbage, but there's some real, again, one man's shit is another man's chocolate goodness, and a lot of that stuff I do hold near and dear to my farts, and we will talk about them. Oh yeah, man, Don the Dragon Wilson was everywhere. So was Cynthia Rothrock. Jean Gary Diablo, Jimmy Van Brunt. Those guys were everywhere. My man Andy Sedaris was still going strong. So yeah, I'm here, man. You guys want to talk? Talk. Ask me questions, quizzes. You want to hear the spirit of the radio? I'll stretch my ball skin real tight. Start playing it like I'm playing a Geddy Lee bass line. Or Les Claypool. Yeah. So what say you? Ooh, look at that. See, look at that Scott Baio. Look at that Willie Ames. Looking up that Goyle Skype. This guy's a trifling. Ted wants to know where I got my hat. I don't know, man. I've had this hat for a long time. I don't know. I've had hats like these for many, many years. I'm a hat person. If it's not a regular like hat, it's one of these. I don't know, man. I probably get them at, Target or Walmart or places like that. I don't think I went to any place special to find any of this shit. Jeff, I rewatched Willow last night. It's funny, somebody else just rewatched Willow as well and told me that they rewatched Willow. I love Willow. I remember the theater experience well. And getting the sticker book, the movie adaptation sticker book that they were so prominent back then. All those that came out with cartoon sticker books and movie adaptation sticker books and all that stuff. Those were great. I had a Willow one. I was always weirded out that they never made, like, surprisingly, Kenner never made Willow action figures. There's those little nothing little figures that don't do anything. They're like little vinyl stand-up figures that were out and about, but they never made actual action figures. But Kenner made Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves action figures, but they didn't make Willow. Insane to me. Well, I guess it would be, if you did that, it would probably have to be on the back for sure. Yeah, I mean, nothing wouldn't look right on the front, at least as far as I'm concerned. Val Kilmer, man. Tyra. I would agree. Men in Tights is better than Prince of Thieves. But Prince of Thieves has the dulcet romantic tones of Bryan Adams, whereas Men in Tights has we're manly men, we're men in tights. Yes. Yeah. Mel Brooks, huh? The last good Brooks film, as far as I'm concerned. There's bits and pieces of Dracula Dead and Loving It that I like, but overall, it was like, okay, all right, time to close up shop. Mel. Ted, I just saw Val Kilmer in Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Yeah. Poor Val. I hope he gets his voice back and that fully heals properly so he can talk normal again. Well, it's that shit that he had, the work that he had done on his throat because of the cancer, you know? That sucks, Jeff. Yeah, I mean, I've seen him in interviews and stuff, and I think it's going to come back, but it is rough to hear him that way and to know what he's been through and But I mean, let's face it. Val was, for a lot of his career, he was an asshole to a lot of people, regardless of how good he was. But he just had a real shitty chip on his shoulder. Honestly, I prefer Val Kilmer from Top Secret, Real Genius, and Willow. Those are my Val Kilmers. I do like Tombstone. I do like Tombstone, but I prefer funny Val Kilmer. Just like my Tom Hanks. I don't want my Tom Hanks being all serious and morose. No, no, no. My Tom Hanks is Bachelor Party Tom Hanks. Straight up. Batman Forever Val. Yeah. Woo. I don't know. He's supposedly in the new Top Gun as well. I don't know how they're gonna, what they're doing with that, how they're getting around that. So we'll see. I Ted, I agree. I'm not joking. People always think I'm like joking when I say that, but Tom Hanks is my favorite. I mean, Bachelor Party is my favorite Tom Hanks movie. I love it. I love Big. I think Big is great. But Bachelor Party, I have loved that movie since since I was a lad, and shouldn't have been watching that movie. Mazes and Monsters, it's a close second. That's a tour de force television film, made for TV movie. Maybe we'll cut this short since not much is happening. Maybe we'll just go to 8 o'clock, folks. That's a solid 2 hours. Oh yeah, Stuart Gordon just died too. I remember. I remember. I wanted to talk about that. That was a bummer. Stuart Gordon died yesterday. Um, I was lucky enough to meet him in 1994, 93, 94 at a Fangoria show. Great guy. Fantastic director. And I mean, Reanimator is amazing, but I think my favorite Stuart Gordon film is tied. I love From Beyond and I love Fortress. Those two movies are so kick-ass and so different and weird and awesome. But yeah, it was a bummer. Yeah. That was a bummer. I like Dolls. Oh, I love Castle Freak. Love Castle Freak. Not a huge fan of Pit and the Pendulum. Hated Dagon. But yeah, he was a talent, man. He was one of those directors, which is great. You know that it's a Stuart Gordon film. Just the not just because of Barbara Crampton and Jeffrey Combs everywhere, but he had that. It was his style, man, and you just knew it, and it was a bummer. But yeah, so I'll be doing. I probably watch From Beyond every year, and we just watched From Beyond, but we watched Fortress last year. But maybe I'll do some Fortress and Reanimator. maybe Dolls. Ted, I don't like Evil Bong. I don't like Modern Full Moon. Just isn't for me. It's not for me. If you watch our full moon episode, um, we have a full moon episode down on the channel, and we go into it. Full Moon and my love affair with Full Moon started with Empire Pictures in the 80s and ended probably 1998. No thanks. I like Dave Dakota, but I don't like modern Dave Dakota. I like old Dave Dakota. You know? Puppet Master 3 Dave Dakota. I was a teenage sex mutant Dave Dakota. That's actually probably my favorite Dave Dakota movie, or it's Dr. Alien. But when I first saw it on USA Up All Night in the 90s, I was a teenage sex mutant. That needs a Blu-ray. Dr. Alien, I fucking love that movie. But I mean, Dave Dakota was the king of Scream Queens back then. All the best Scream Queen trilogy movies trio came from Dave Dakota, but modern Dave Dakota, no thanks. Actually, that's a lie. I liked Ginger Dead Man 2, and that was his movie under one of his 50 different names. But and I liked that movie because they took a piss on Full Moon. Full Moon was taking a piss on themselves, and I liked that. And the whole thing is just a big goof on how Charlie is in Full Moon. So I appreciated that. But I'm hoping that one of my favorite series from Full Moon is the Subspecies films, and I'm really hoping that Charlie actually gave Ted Nicolau and his crew enough shekels to give us something worthy of the fucking weight with Subspecies 5. Charlie just doesn't fucking give a shit, and that's why I hate most of modern Full Moon from 2000 on. It's just not for me. The glory days are over. But man, do I cherish those old days. Mm. Oh man. I've got about 11 VHS tapes over there that are filled with young Sievage footage. Stuff from the late 80s into the early 90s. The things you could see. But you won't! Yeah, Jeff. I mean, those, they're a big part of the Saturday morning sleepovers that I do here, the commercials. I make sure to always load them up between each episode of whatever show I throw on there. I try to put on at least, 5 to 10 commercials every break. That's part of the fun, man. Reliving that stuff. I can't tell you how much I remember from those commercials. So fun. Well, what happened to anything, man? My brother, they've Everything is gone. It's so different. So different. Why do you think I'm clinging, man? I'm clinging to my past. I ain't never gonna give it up. Ain't never gonna let it down. Ain't never gonna run around. You know? That's right. That's right. If it can bring, one little kernel of nostalgic energy to your, primordial forms, then I'm doing my job. And my job really is to just sit here and connect with you, like-minded folks, about all this stuff. Bring back some tiny little semblance of who you used to be and the things that you loved. I would never rickroll you. I would never betray you. Well, Tom, I mean, there's plenty of good stuff out there. It's just you gotta look for it. There's people trying to do good things and trying to make this easier for everybody. However, the entertainment is. It's a weird. I mean, it's weird, man. It's a weird time. I was thinking, there's going to be a time where we all sort of like look back and go, man, remember that coronavirus shit? Weird. It's just so surreal. Such an odd thing. But I mean, it's going to pass and life goes on, That's Teen Wolf 2, yes. And it was there when you were here, Tom. And this, I'm putting this up here. I had this down in the hallway of the theater room for years, and decided, you know what, it's much better suited in the 80s room. And this is a Fright Rags poster of the original film. This was when they put out their Teen Wolf line of merch. It's beautiful. And it belongs up here rather than in the hallway leading to the home theater. So. This isn't quite the end of the world, Tom. Come on now. Don't you be the media. I feel like our world, human beings, have been through far worse than this shit. Us insignificant little twerps on this floating space rock. Yeah, get out of here. Damn things. I don't know how you'd shut this shit off. Well, it's about 10 more minutes and then I'm going to split. So if you guys have any powerfully erotic questions that pertain to my movies or the 80s or anything like that, you best lob them out, brother. Because you're keeping me from my binges, man. I got to get back to my WWF ladies. But yeah, I should have some new episodes popping up for the next week or so. Probably three episodes coming up that hopefully you guys will enjoy. And the big reschedule, I mean, the big live show that we were going to do with everybody obviously is being postponed and until we can all get together and be here physically with each other and celebrate it. Who knows? By then, maybe we'll be at 800 subscribers. But I do want to thank everybody who did subscribe to this channel and got us to that point. And we will be giving away that Merman. I like Strangeland, actually. I remember renting that on the first day it came out and really digging it. And I had the VHS for a while, and then when the DVD came out, I had the DVD, but I ended up selling the DVD. I'm actually surprised that doesn't have a Blu-ray release. Yeah, I like Strangeland. I thought Dee Snider did a pretty good job. Tom, no, I did talk about this, but as right now, they are full steam ahead, so nothing's changed. As far as I know, me and Andrew and Alec are off to Anaheim in August. Tyra, have you ever seen Metropolis? No, I have not. I know what it is, but I just don't think it would appeal to me. We're supposed to be. That's good. Here, man. I still got to send you those tickets. Yes, you do. I was gonna say that. I mean, our trip is booked from August 6th to August 10th. So, I mean, I fully expect to have things back, not to normal, but at least back to some semblance of normalcy by then. I don't know if this is going to go on as long as I mean, I think it's going to go on longer than fucking Dimwit thinks it's going to go on, but I also don't think we're going to be in this type of situation for 5-6 more months. I just don't. But I'm also very optimistic about it. Where a lot of people like to be pessimistic about it, but I'm doing good. I feel like, other than the turd hats who are out there fucking still congregating in giant groups and going to the beach and shit like that and participating in spring break and all that shit. Other than those nimrods, I think it's good that we are doing this social distancing thing. I think it is going to help in the long run. It's going to help the people who need to do their job get their shit done and get things back to normal, or as normal as they can be. So, you can't control everybody, but I'm doing my part. Tom, they some stupid individuals. Stupid individuals. Those are people who just don't know what to do with their fucking lives. It's gonna come back. It's all going to come back. And you know what's gonna happen? When when the world opens back up, it's gonna be crazy. And the economy will shit money, and people are gonna be spending more than ever, and it's gonna be good and it's gonna be bad, just like life is. Whatever, man. But I'm looking forward to it. It's been not the greatest weather, but it's been nicer here in upstate New York as far as the sun is out, and instead of being in the 30s, it's been in the 50s. So we've been walking a lot outside, and it's optimism, man. I'm taking deep breaths, and I'm looking at spring happening, and the green is coming, and the warmth is going to come, and things are going to change. And as I said earlier, I think it's going to be a relaunch of people's spirits, and more things are going to get done when things sort of reopen, and I'm good. I think all right, Tyra, thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. Sorry it was so boring. Tom, that's a perfect example of the people I deal with daily. They don't care about anyone or anything but themselves. They spent their money and they want their vacation. Well, asshats, me. Goes back to insignificant nothings on a floating space rock. The hubris we have as creatures. I tell you, we deserve this. As harsh as that is. We're all a bunch of spoiled nothings. All right, Tyra, you say that you're never boring. You're taken from Arnold. He's out there. He's got his little his horses and his goats and his lambs and rams and everything, and they're all in there in his house, and he's eating with them, and they're cleaning, and he's eating, and he's not for you. It is mine. Get out of here. All right, where are we at? We're about at 8 o'clock, folks. All right, I thought we were going to do this until later, but it's just, it's kind of no one's fault. It's just kind of a dead thing. We did a solid 2 hours. I do want to thank all you guys who did show up and came here to talk to me. I hope it was a little entertaining. But keep checking out the channel. Keep watching the episodes. If you haven't, there's a lot of episodes here you guys could watch. We have a bunch of stuff coming up, and we will of course be doing more live shows once things get back to normal. The toys, are you talking about, Tom? The real Ghostbusters release? I mean, I don't know. I don't care. I know that people are posting pictures that they already got theirs. Probably from Walmart. Well, again, that's where I changed mine. So I don't know. I wouldn't hold too much as gospel in this weird day and age. But even if it was July, I don't care. They're coming. I have them pre-ordered. I'm not worried. So anyway, thanks guys again. Thank you for joining the live show. Hope you had a little little fun, little smile, little giggles, and we will continue to do so on this channel and hopefully through my future films. And if you want my films, please get a hold of me. Again, like I said, they're going to be basically called pre-orders because the UPS store is not letting me do my covers, and my wife doesn't want me to go out to the post office anytime soon. So anything you do order will be a pre-order, and it'll all go out after this mess is over with. But just get a hold of me. I'll give you a list of all my movies. You can contact me at warlockhomevideo@gmail.com. We just put out the Stoinky Saga on Blu-ray with a bunch of extras and the newly released A Stoinkmare on Halloween Street. So there you go. Thank you guys for joining me. And we will continue and we will persevere. Don't worry. Take it from me, the Sievage. Don't let the wind in your sails exceed the strength of your genitalia, folks. All right. All right. Bye, everyone. Check out Orange Cassidy. He's hilarious. Orange Cassidy. Bye.